When I first saw Jurassic Park 1993 in theater, I vividly remember the combination of excitement and fear that I was filled with as a 10-year-old boy. At the time, the special effects and computer animation were revolutionary, and this was in part the reason why the film was so popular. Yet having seen the film for a second time in 2006, though I expected a less fun and interesting experience, to my surprise, the film was exciting yet again. Even though I knew the outcome of the film, the visual techniques employed by Steven Spielberg managed to still be effective. When examining the reasons for this, two factors seemed to come into play. First, my maturity and age allowed for a higher understanding of the overall film and a closer attention to detail. Second, my newly acquired knowledge of Alfred Hitchcock enabled me to think and analyze the film in new ways. After watching Jurassic Park, it is clear that Alfred Hitchcock had a profound impact on Spielberg. When comparing Jurassic Park to the work of Alfred Hitchcock, not only are many similarities illuminated, but also one can understand why Patricia Hitchcock believes that Spielberg is Alfred's true successor. To begin with, like Hitchcock, Spielberg is a traditional director. His films involve a linear narrative where ultimately a conflict is resolved. Jurassic Park is a perfect example of this. In the film, the scientists, played by Sam Neill and Laura Dern, are invited to the park. Power goes out, and the characters get stranded on the island. Throughout the course of the film, the characters manage to turn the power back on and escape the island. This linear quality is prevalent in many, if not all, of Hitchcock's works. For example, a Hitchcock film that embodies a similar narrative structure is North by Northwest. In this film, the character of Roger Thornhill, played by Cary Grant, is accused as the wrong man, and throughout the course of the film, he clears his name. The significance of this point lies in the fact that both directors believe that telling a story is important to the medium of film. Aside from the shared interest in telling a story, both directors approach the monsters in their films in a similar manner. The role and display of the monster, the dinosaurs, in Jurassic Park mimics in a very exact manner the approach of Alfred Hitchcock towards the birds in The Birds. In Jurassic Park, the audience is constantly waiting for and anticipating the next attack of the dinosaurs. The effect is ultimately an added dimension of suspense. Not only are the actual attacks themselves exciting, but the actual waiting causes anxiety for the audience as well. Another dimension of Spielberg's Jurassic Park that mimics The Birds is the relationship between the human characters and the monster. More specifically, in Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs seem to have human powers. The velociraptors have the ability to think in a very intelligent, almost human manner. They can remember, think, hunt, and even open doors. In one scene, the velociraptors manage to outsmart the dinosaur hunter and kill him. In Hitchcock's The Birds, we see this very same special agency. The birds have the ability to organize and make seemingly calculated attacks. They can break through the windows and doors and seem to have an almost human control over their actions. In addition to the fact that the birds have human characteristics in the film, the humans also have bird-like mannerisms as well. As the film draws to a close and the Brenner family is isolated and entrapped in the homestead under assault from the birds, Mitch Melanie and Lydia loom in the foreground of the image in low-angled close-ups that dramatize the angular avian aspect of human physiognomy. In Jurassic Park, the same can be said about Dr. Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern, resembling the dinosaurs. In the scene where she is being chased by the raptors, rapid head movements and flailing legs resemble the biological mechanics of the raptors. In both films, this apparent relationship between the human characters and the monster intensifies the film. It causes the audience to think and reflect upon the similarities between the humans and the monsters and why they are set against one another in the film. While the influence of Hitchcock on Spielberg is clear, it is important to note that in some ways the directors are very different. To begin with, unlike Hitchcock, Spielberg is decidedly not interested in the perverse. Instead, Spielberg is more interested in the structure of morality. This can be seen in Jurassic Park, as the film deals with moral issues of recreating dinosaurs. Furthermore, unlike Hitchcock, Spielberg's films, Jurassic Park, Jaws, Duel, always seem to conclude with a relatively simple solution, with the human characters ending up victorious. The third and final way in which Spielberg differs from Hitchcock is in character depth. Where Hitchcock seems particularly invested in his characters and their development, it seems that Spielberg is not. The result is that the audience is less attached and interested in Spielberg's characters than Hitchcock's. While there are many differences between the two directors, it is Spielberg's treatment of suspense that most resembles Hitchcock. Spielberg's mastery of the camera, film, and cinema are more Hitchcockian than any other director, and that's why Patricia Hitchcock's comment is a legitimate claim.